and practice. We and practice. We are back.
Did you ever get the feeling as you're staring at the ceiling that this game of life we play ain't fair? Seems as fast as we can make it, there's a hand that grabs and takes it till they find us in a grave somewhere. Like a rodent on a treadmill, we keep pushing for it uphill, but we never seem to get too far. Well, if you think you're being taken, then you're ready to awaken to the truth of what we really are. We're all indentured, servitudal slaves, overburdened and bewildered feudal knaves, who have lost our sole posterity through ignorance and apathy, and now we're being taxed out of our graves. And as long as we stay passive, we'll succumb, contented with some socialistic crumb. Well, the naked truth and fact is we're all saps who pay our taxes, and that is why the banksters keep us dumb. Could the state of our condition be the product of omission, what we didn't learn in public schools? And did our fathers all through history all fight and die for liberty so we could play the tyrant's fools? And can you call it education when it's all indoctrination to obey the hidden powers that be? Did we fight the revolution? Did we win the world wars just to slumber into slavery? Let's stop being indentured, servitudal slaves, overburdened and bewildered feudal knaves, and reclaim our lost posterity, rise up and proclaim liberty. It's high time we rock the boat and make some waves, 'cause as long as we stay passive, we'll succumb. They'll starve us on their communistic crumb. And the naked truth and fact is we don't have to pay those taxes. Yes, it's time we show those banksters, those international gangsters. So let's turn the tables and spoil all their fun.
All right.
God bless the Republic and the United States and death to the New World Order! Yeah! All right!
Yeah! There they are, folks. There's the team going at it. Mike Hansen, Jeff Davis Jr., Wanda Davis, and Baby Jacob Davis. Baby Jacob Davis has the phone right now. Folks, I guess we're live here tonight. Coming to you live from Austin, Texas. Folks, this is the long-running Jeff Davis Show. If you're watching or listening over the internet, we invite you to call in. We may have some calls in from out of state today, maybe. But if you're watching over the internet, anybody anywhere in the United States, you can call in at area code 512-477-2288. That's 512-477-2288. Folks, we have another exciting broadcast for you tonight. We're going to go back in time here a little bit. We've got several videos we're going to play. Some really hilarious ones, I think. We've got some Alex Jones coming up. We've got Ross Wilsey coming up. Terry Liberty Parker. Some of the real big hitters in the Liberty movement here in Central Texas is coming up, and we're going to be playing some of those videos. We're also going to play a video interview with Paul Fata, and I'll get about him a little bit later in the show before we play it. I'll just say this, Paul Fata is a Branch Davidian, and he was in he was a Branch Davidian at Waco, Texas in 1993, and he got 12 years in prison, folks, for conspiring to kill a federal agent, and Paul Fata was never even in Waco during the entire 51 days. So we're going to get to that. something that his Paul Fotta's case is something I've been bitching about since 1993. The injustice done on Paul Fotta. So we'll get to that. Like I said, we got a lot of videos, and the thing that I'd like to mention here today is that this show over the years, over 20-plus years, has been basically identifying things that really hurt and crush civil liberties. For years we talked about what's now on the news now, these body scanners, wireless wiretapping of people's phone system. And one thing that played in our backup tape, and I want to encourage you to watch next week because we're not live here next week. We're not live here in the studio next week. And in the backup, in the tape that's currently playing to fill that slot, I'm talking about the Federal Reserve and the and all of the 35,000 pieces of stuff that items that are in our atmosphere. And it got cut off as to what I was saying, that I was talking about, that this was all put in during the 80s, supposedly for the Soviet threat. What's that? Okay, come on. Here he is, folks. Mike didn't want to hear that legendary,
they need to change the camera. Okay. I wanted to tell you about what we're doing, Jeff. I think it's very exciting down in Gonzales. We're going through all the archives and picking out shows and putting them on the internet, on Blip TV and Mike Hansen Archives on YouTube. And Alex Jones is picking up a lot of them and putting them on his channel, and the people that work for him. So I think it's very exciting to go through these old tapes. And just keep in mind, this tape with Ross, Alex, and you that's coming up in about 1 minute, you had already been on the air 8 years when that played for the first time. And it's 15, 16 years later now. So this, I think this tape that we're fixing to play is 15 years old.
Well, the thing is, Mike, the reason why I think it's important to play a lot of the old stuff that we did, because it shows just how accurate this show has been on predicting future events.
It's amazing when you're going through some of these tapes to see that some of it's. I mean, I could see some of it that didn't come true, like this Y2K thing that y'all are talking about.
On this,
but
wait.
But maybe it prevented.
Let me correct. Okay. In this studio, on December something of 1999, I correctly predicted, after months of hearing all of the information about that, nothing, very little of nothing is going to become of Y2K.
But going through some of these tapes, that there was a lot of this Y2K talk, and everything was going to fall down to nothing and everything.
Yeah, but I didn't buy into that. Yeah. Not me.
Well, some of them did.
Yeah, some of them did. But they do like to have, but like I say, the accuracy of most of them, pretty much I'd say about everything we've talked about, 90% has come true.
Well, let me tell you about something that we did work on very hard and get it up. There's been a lot of speculation about how Alex and myself disgraced or what's the word? What's the word, Nate? What are they saying on the internet? That we what? What? Betrayed the Grays. When we drove 5 hours over there to go to a standoff, and there's a lot of internet out there saying that Alex Jones betrayed the Grays. We found the original tape from 10 years ago, and we put it on Blip TV. How can you get to it, Nate? What? You can go to Mike Hansen Archives, and right there on the front page, there's a link to Alex Jones Defends John Joe Gray, right on the front page. And this has not been seen for 10 years. And it's clear the contention is that we should not have shown the children, which, if showing the children is going to save the people, what difference does it make? And we played that no less than 4 times on a live television show here on XSTV before it played a month later on 2020. So people,
I saw that.
yeah, people are now saying that it's a betrayal that we had it on 2020 a month after it was played right here live 4 times. And the tape will prove it. You'll see the lady up there saying, "Thank you, Alex, for putting us on. Thank you for showing our babies." You'll see it there. So we found the tape, and I think that it's going to do a lot to put down these internet rumors that we somehow betrayed the Grays, when I think they were saved. They're still held up 10 years later.
Let me say, I went there a couple of times myself. In fact, I got written in the paper on articles, a newspaper article that you saw.
Yeah.
I went there with Jimmy Ritter, Chris Athanas. Several of us went out there, and my personal opinion of Mr. Gray was that he was probably just jealous.
Well, I think that when the 2020 played and they showed his son-in-law telling a different story than he's been telling all of us, that's when the crap hit the fan. What?
Well, the
calls?
Thing is, we've done a lot of we've done a lot of really, I think, groundbreaking stuff, Mike, between you and me and Alex. Well, you know, for that 95 to 99 time frame, just unbelievable stuff, and things that like I say, that have long since come true. Wireless wiretap, the Patriot Act got that in.
Well, I want to thank Nate Thomas for helping us get this up
Nate
up on the air. I mean, up on the internet, because it's hard to do. You got to go through these old tapes, and you got to almost recolorize them. You know, some of them are such bad shape that you have to mold them to even get them in a good generation to show on TV. There's Nate Thomas.
What about the fans of the Jeff Davis show?
Oh, we're fixing to show that.
We got a comment.
And it's 15 years old, and it shows Ross and
Alton
Alex.
on the Spot. Remember Alton on the Spot? He had a show down here for a long time.
Yeah. So we found that. We're finding a lot of stuff. We're putting it up on the internet. If you can just follow Jeff on his Facebook, you put all his stuff up on your Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And we put it up on Mike Hansen Archives. But it's kind of fun to go back in time.
Well, again, I think it's important because
history. I think it shows
just
the history,
how accurate we've been. I really do. We're living in a full-blown police state now. I was talking about in the backup tape that's will play next week, scheduled to play next week. I was talking about the Federal Reserve, the banking system, the money system,
and the Paul Hernandez. We're fixed to put that on the internet
That's a good
too.
one. Yeah, that's
good.
Good.
We found the original tape on that. So it's good to find the original VHS, if you can.
Well,
imagine.
You may not remember this because it got cut off at the end of this backup tape.
Yeah.
But I was talking about, remember when they had the Cold War and they were building this missile defense shield, and I predicted back then that it was a bunch of garbage, and what would it? And the backup tape, I say that this is what's going to become of it, and for some reason that's where it cuts off. But the point is, what they're using all of this stuff and these satellites and all this stuff, you know what they're using it for? The spy on us.
I know that.
And I predicted that 15 years ago.
And sometime I just bought this new gadget called a GPS, and I just love it. I wish I'd have had it when I was a bus driver and a delivery driver.
They're putting GPS little things on people's cars now without search warrants.
Well, I understand, but I'm talking about the GPS you can buy in Walmart, and you can program it into where you're going to take you right there, and it will tell you how to get there. I think it's one of the greatest inventions ever made. But what I would like to know is, why did they give us the technology? They've had it for a long time. Why did they give it to us? Because it's military technology.
I'm surprised they
Why is that, Jeff?
I'm surprised
You're
they
the
gave
expert.
us. I'm surprised they gave us the internet, really.
Yeah.
Because that's just exposing them on every level.
Okay, Jeff, we're going to get all this stuff on the
Okay,
internet.
let me say something here first.
God bless you.
Okay, and then we'll get to some videos, and then what I wanted to say, folks, is that I've been saying for the last 15 years or so that it's a good idea to store food. I mean, there's a lot of people now. If you watch a lot of these talking heads like Glenn Beck and some of these others, you know, they're basically preaching, you know, that the world's going to end, and the truth of the matter is, right now is tough times here in the United States of America. There's the unemployment rate's like 17.5% for all the people that have given up and quit looking, and these are just a number if you believe these numbers. And there could be tough times, a few bumpy roads ahead, and which again on this show we predicted it. We predicted all the tracking, the warrant taps, the all the different things that we're seeing, the body scanners, the cameras all over the place. Switch mics. Okay, here we go. Come on. But so this stuff was all. Come here. Come on up here, folks. Here's my beautiful grandson, Jacob Allen Davis. Say hi, Jacob. What's that there, Jacob? What's that there cow say? What's that cow?
Whoa.
What's that cow say?
No.
Yeah. What's this?
No.
What's this? I. What's this?
Can Jacob say door?
Door. Can Jacob say door?
Ah.
Door. Could Jacob Davis say door? That's stand. For the mic, the microphone goes in there. Let me move this out of the space. This is Jacob Allen Davis, my first official grandson, folks. Isn't he gorgeous? Here, come here. Let me Grandpa hold you up here so that everybody can get a good look at you. This is Jacob Davis. Say ooh-wee. What's that there cow say? What's that cow? See this? See, Jacob? There you are up there, see? You're on live TV. Jacob. There's Dad and Mike Hansen. And okay, here we go, folks.
You'll have to do another take, dude, because I don't know. I don't even know when the show's on.
Say Monday.
Monday night. You got to watch it. You'll love it.
Yeah, but by the time this plug's on, it'll be over. Just say, hey, stay tuned to the Jeff Davis Show.
Hey, you crazy cat. Stay tuned to the Jeff Davis Show.
Shit.
This is Ross from Puppet Toast. Peace.
Oh, no, man.
We get out to background
God. Waiting for you.
Dude, don't you know how to make coffee?
I was watching you. I'll bring it up.
God, even I know that nominated.
That'll be fun. I know how to do it. I was thinking about the plug.
Yeah, sure.
I am the Viper Master of Baku.
We got that Jones character here, making coffee.
All right.
Are we rolling?
Go ahead. Get me in it.
Hey everybody, this is Ross Roachweed from Puppet Toast, and we're making a mess of coffee, but also encouraging you to watch the Jeff Davis Show every Monday night. Watch it because it'll do you good.
That's right, baby. Right wing.
Hey Austin, this is Alton on the Spot, and you're watching the Jeff Davis Show. For more information on my show and other quality programming, keep it tuned right here on Channel 10.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good enough.
Yeah. Please, get the bike. You're done stumbling around. I'm hungry.
Hey, come on over here. You can get in this too. Let's get the whole team over here. Come on.
Hey Austin, this is Alton on the Spot, and I'm here with Jeff Davis from the Jeff Davis Show. For more information on my show and other quality programming, keep it tuned right here on Channel 10.
And watch out for the Imperial Forces tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The Empire doesn't want you to watch the Jeff Davis Show.
There you go, folks. That was classic. What, about 1995, Mike? Something like that? 1996. What I'd like to say, folks, is with all the doom and gloom going around, I am going to predict that the United States of America's best days are ahead of us, at least in my life and the people watching this show.
Hola.
There you go, Jacob. Okay, coming up next, folks, we've got, let's go ahead and run the sheriff from Gonzales County, Texas, talking about promoting the Jeff Davis Show. Well, the now sheriff. At the time, he was not. The Paul Fodder's queued up. Yeah, the Paul Fodder's good. Right now. Do that first. Okay, we're going to go ahead now. This is a case, Paul Fodder, I've been bitching about since 1993. Branch Davidian, in prison for 12 years, and he wasn't even on location at the time. So let's go ahead and run that one. Okay, this is Jeff Davis Show, live on location, Waco, Texas, 19 April 2010. Visiting today with Waco Branch Davidian, Mr. Paul Fodder. And Paul, how you doing? I have basically one question. First off, how long were you in prison?
I was in prison for 12 years, 7 months.
Okay. Well, what charges?
The original charges were conspiracy to commit murder against federal agents, aiding and abetting murder of federal agents, carrying a weapon during a commission of a crime, conspiracy to manufacture automatic weapons, and aiding and abetting the manufacturing of automatic weapons.
Okay, now where were you on the first day of the attack on Waco?
I was actually 100 miles away. I was in Austin, Texas.
And did you ever go to the Mount Carmel facility during any of the 51 days?
No, I did not. When I came back from Austin that evening, the perimeter was already secured. They wouldn't allow me past the... they had a barrier there outside, probably 2 miles back from the property.
Okay, now how then, the main question then is, how do you go from being charged with all these conspiracies to kill federal agents and all this stuff when you're 100 miles away at a gun show in Austin, Texas? How does that?
Well, I mean, it's the way the law is. They say if you have knowledge of something that they're going to hold you as responsible as the person that pulls the trigger. But you got to remember, it was a pretty political trial. They needed their pound of flesh. There was a certain amount of survivors, younger people like myself at the time. I was in my early 30s. So they had to take and get their pound of flesh, and they wanted somebody to be responsible for what happened. And it just happened that they got this small group of people that survived, so and I was one of them.
So the bottom line is you spent 12 years in prison for these phony charges, and you weren't even on location at Mount Carmel during any of the 51 days.
No, I wasn't. I think the thing is, again, it was a political trial. They were trying to make somebody responsible for the tragedy. They didn't want to take responsibility for their actions, so they put these charges on. Well, there was 12 of us, and we fought for our innocence. We went through the judicial system. We hoped that there would be justice served, and you saw the outcome. I guess there wasn't justice, but you know, we try to leave it in God's hands at this point and be thankful that we're here where we are now.
You have an incredible story, a tragedy, but thank you very much for this.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. and we're visiting here with Branch Davidian Sheila Martin. Sheila, thank you so much for coming on. First off, I want to give you the opportunity to say whatever you want to say about on this special day here. This is what, 17 years from the day that Mount Carmel went up in smoke, and tell us about your whole.
Well, I think when we see the children that did survive and see that they are now in their 20s and 30s, and you realize that all the others that were that age 17 years ago, those were would-be young men, women, lives that they would have had some kind of schooling and jobs and getting things together and having a life like we have. We've had a chance to buy homes and buy cars and go to stores and do things, and thankful for what God has given us, but still our hearts always want to think that somebody is beside us, the child that you bore, or the husband that you married. You want them to be a part of this whole experience. You're thankful for all the things that people have done for you, but there's that part of you that knows that those who died way back in 1993, on April 19th, they didn't have a chance. They suffocated. Those first few days, I felt the fire on my back. As they turned away from the fire, as they were breathing in it, I felt my lungs, just filling with this. I felt so close to them being in that building and all that consumption or whatever. And even though each year you're thankful for what God has done, that part of it is so painful for what has happened. And you're reminded every year, even more so, just listening to the names.
Yeah.
And you see the faces, and you get to see on the other faces of other people, they have a joy, and they're happy to see you, and you're happy to see them.
About your book here, it's When They Were Mine, Memoirs of a Branch Davidian Wife and Mother, Sheila Martin. Tell us about this.
Well, many years ago we were approached by a lady from Louisiana, a professor.
Okay, folks, we're back. That was Sheila Martin, who's another Branch Davidian survivor. If you'd like to call in real quick, 477-2288. We just had a line light up here. Coming up next is in 1996, Mike Hansen got an interview with the now sheriff of Gonzales County, Texas. And they're talking about the Come and Take It, and the Come and Take It Festival over at the annual Come and Take It Festival. And there's also a plug in there for the Jeff Davis Show. So let's go ahead and roll that one. Okay, folks, America's best days are yet ahead. Trust me. Trust me. With all the doom and gloom you're hearing, America's best days, and for this little fella, is still ahead of us. Trust me. Trust me on this, folks. We're waking people up. We've been waking people up. You throw the Alexes and all the people that have contributed and done work on Liberty East research and Liberty issues. We've reached the amount, I believe, potential of people to really make political change in this country. Yeah, you got to plug it in first before you do that. Now, what's that there cow say?
Moo.
Yes. What's this here? Is that I? Can Jacob say I? I?
Moo.
Moo? You can't say I? Can you say door? Door. This is Grandpa. See, that's Jacob Davis. See him up there on television? Say hi. Okay, here we go, folks.
T-shirts are going fast. This is the one, the only original #1 car show for Come and Take It. Marlene's over there.
You're watching the Jeff Davis Show on Channel 16. We're coming to you from Gonzales, Texas, where we're celebrating Coming Take It, 1996. You're inside the old county jail. The jail was used until the mid-70s as a jail, as living quarters of the sheriff up to that time. Since then, it's been turned into a museum. We have lots of folks visiting here. There's displays that when the jail was being used in early Gonzales County. Gonzales County was originally part of the Dreams You Wish land grant from Mexico, established about 1825. This particular building was built in 1895. It was designed to hold up to 100 prisoners and has been used for Chamber of Commerce offices and a museum, and has been used in a movie or two and several other things. We have quite an exciting weekend right now. What I'm standing on is a replica gallows. The gallows is located in what is known as the runaround of the old jail. It's on the second floor. This gallows was never used, although there were several people actually hung in this particular area. As you see, there's also a lot of writing and so forth on the walls. These are left by prisoners. They didn't have anything to do, so they left their names and dates and how long they were in jail, perhaps where they were from. This is a kind of a unique graffiti, but it's something that we've maintained and kept as it was actually when the jail was discontinued. As you attach to this particular section of the jail is also 4 death cells. These were the cells where people who were convicted of a capital offense were actually kept. They stayed here until when it was legal to hang, the hanging took place. And like I said, as far as I know, there were 3 hangings in this jail. The original gallows was torn down in the early 50s just to make space. When the jail was last used, this particular section was all that was used of it. There was no plumbing, no water, and no facilities in the rest of it. When the thing was built, it was designed for 100 people, so it must have been a very crowded place. This was also the original regional jail. It served about 3 or 4 counties and was designed for that. Interestingly enough, the facilities and the mechanisms that work the doors are very similar to what we use today. We've got the modern and electrical devices, but all of this is mechanical, but the design and the features are much the same. This building was plumbed for water and gas. The design and the features are much the same. This building was plumbed for water and gas. Gas lights and gas heat originally, and as it deteriorated and went down, most of that left. When it was last used, we had 1 working commode, 1 working water spigot up here, and 2 downstairs. It had gotten pretty hard to use. Thanks for watching the Jeff Davis Show every Monday night on Channel 16. Okay, I'm Glenn Sockleven. I'm Game Warden Sergeant here in Gonzales. We're in the old county jail. The jail museum is open from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. It's open 8:30 to 4 on Saturdays, and then 1 to 5 on Sundays. This is my old office when I officed in this old building. Y'all come see us. We're on 183. Come down through Lockhart, Luling, and swing left off 183 and come see us. We enjoy having you. We've got a lot of historic homes. We've got a city museum up the street. This particular building is located on 414 St. Lawrence Street. It's the center square of town. one of 7 that were originally set out when Gonzales was laid out. Y'all come see us. You'll have a good time. This book is Gonzales Drover, Brands, Cattle, and More. It's written by Joe Toland Ackman and Glenn Sockleben. It tells of all of the brands that are located on the Gonzales Brand Monument. It talks about 175 trail drivers that left Gonzales County between 1865 and 1885, the places they went, the cattle they took, who went with them, and so forth. Plus, it also has a few pictures and some little articles on places that most folks can't get, but are very interesting places in Gonzales County. This is available at the Gonzales Chamber of Commerce and around town in Gonzales at a couple of the stores. The Ghost of Gonzales is written by Leon Natardis. It's a little compilation of haunted houses located in Gonzales. It's a very interesting little book and tells a lot of stories, a lot of folklore that takes place around the community and within the bounds of Gonzales County. It too is available at the Chamber of Commerce and around town. This is a photograph of the jail that was originally built in about 1895. The roof was blown off in a storm in the early 20s and replaced with a flat roof that we have today. It's one of several photographs that are in the Chamber of Commerce offices that were taken from old archives and so forth from around the county. This is a photograph of St. Paul Street looking south. The 3-story building in the middle of the photograph is a Masonic Lodge. It's been redone, remodeled, and cleaned up recently. It is notorious not only for being the Masonic Lodge, it is also the law offices of John Wesley Hardin, about 1895. Several of the other buildings are interesting in their architectural style. The long porch, 2-story porch at the very end of the block is no longer there, and most of the buildings have their facades changed slightly today.
Okay, folks, we are back live here. I want to bring in Nate Thomas. Now, Nate has done a lot of work, really, for several years, right? And, you know, behind the scenes.
I've been working with Mike Hansen Archives with Mike Hansen. Mike Hansen was, you know, your producer way back when, and the producer for the Alex Jones. What was it? Exposing Corruption.
Yeah, yeah.
And several other AlexInfowars.com. Way back when.
Well, you put up some really nice stuff this week. You've got
hey, Jacob.
Alex's speech at the state capitol you put up. You've got the Ross Wilsey and the promos, Alton on the Spot.
Right.
The sheriff one we just saw, you put that one out.
Yep.
So it just, I wanted to thank you for all the work you're doing, really.
Well, also, my latest upload with me and Mike working together, we've been wanting to do this for a while, was the John Joe Gray standoff in Trinidad, Texas.
Yes.
Where Alex took a lot of heat for some accusations that he got a payoff for betrayal. But I've looked at all the evidence. I've looked at what happened, and I really don't think that Alex deserves the treatment that he got from that.
Well, did you go out there to Trinidad?
No, I didn't go out there.
Okay, I was out there twice, and I talked to Joe Gray. And quite frankly, let me say, if Alex and Mike and all of us hadn't got together, they might have done a Waco on those people.
Well, that's my feeling, is that they were saved from possible deadly
absolutely
thing that might have happened.
Yeah.
And they seem a little like they don't respect that or something, you know.
Well, just from talking to Joe Gray the little bit that I did, I think it was probably, frankly, I think he was just a little bit jealous of Alex.
Right.
You know, so I think that's really what it comes down to on that.
Well, I think what happened is when the 2020 video came out and it went nationwide, you know, Alex wasn't quite nationwide back then. You know, he is now, but back then he wasn't. And I think it was a little bit too much for him, and I think he took it out on Alex.
Well, I think it was all good, but in fact, that probably saved another Waco. That's what I think.
That's exactly.
That's the reason why I went out there.
Well, and what happened was Alex put that out on his radio show, and then also here on Access TV, and it got a lot of patriots. You know, they donated food and supplies, and they all came down there, and that's actually did avert a possible deadly situation.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, could you load up the Terry Liberty DVD or somebody in there? You're gonna love this. This is classic Terry Liberty Parker.
All right.
Him and Dave Neff are smoking pot at the
I love
state camp.
Terry Liberty Parker introduced me to libertarianism,
Yeah.
and I respect Terry Liberty Parker. He was a great guy.
He was.
And rest in peace, brother.
And before we get to that, after the show tonight, Bakehouse. I'm going there myself, taking Jeff and Wanda and Jacob out there. Come on down, folks, 5400 Manchaca Road from 9:30 tonight until 11:30 tonight. If you like directions, if you know how to get there, 292-0070. And so, yeah, Bakehouse tonight, folks, after the show. By the way, let me mention, I forgot this. Today is Jeff and Wanda's 2nd anniversary.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right.
So happy anniversary, Jeff and Wanda.
Happy Jeff Jr. and Wanda.
Yes, 2nd anniversary. So are we ready with the Terry Liberty piece? Huh?
Almost.
Okay. This is a good one, folks. This is classic Terry Liberty Parker down at the state capitol.
Somebody's got a light, right?
This is that
Terry, all right, so
turn closer and quit wobbling.
All right, so
Mike his lighter.
Mike the lighter.
Get a better lighter.
We're here in front of the Capitol on what do I have to push a button?
Liberation Day.
Don't touch it.
Green.
Okay. We're here in front of the Capitol on Liberation Day, and this fellow here is going to light up, and this is recorded for all of our posterity.
And this is my name's Dave, and whatever's in your bowl is your business. And personally, I like the fluffy stuff that smells good. But I'm afraid to garden it because I'm afraid they're going to call it marijuana.
Hey.
Oh, here, go ahead.
You're still enough.
There's carb there. Hard to light. This isn't the best pipe for this.
It's tough sometimes to break the law. God,
especially when you get clogged.
Well, officially, I tried to suck, but
you couldn't inhale.
I couldn't inhale. I tried to inhale. There was nothing. Oh, what? Try it again?
Here, yeah. There you go. And don't forget to get the exhale.
I think I had it.
Well, this
it blew it away.
Lightweight stuff.
It blew it away.
And actually, the smoke is less apparent with the I think they call this hydro, or some people do. I would rather go organic, but that's just a personal thing. But like I said, I'm afraid to.
Hey, they're registering voters behind us.
Grow the seeds at this point until I win a case in the court for possession of religious paraphernalia, and tell these people, go home and keep out of my business, basically.
They're registering voters behind us, by the way, right over here.
Did you register yet?
For what?
To vote.
No, I'm not registered to vote. I guess I could register to vote. How many historic things do I need to do in one day, though?
right. Sometimes it's hard to break the law.
It's hard to break the law sometimes when you can't get your lighter and like the pipe won't suck and there's like resins stuck in there. And what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Folks, what we've got next is I think just absolutely a classic video, and you put it up. It's Alex. Now outside here, Nate said, and to some extent I agree with him. Pretty much all these counties and all these police departments are doing wars on drugs, and they're checking to make sure you have all your documents and your license plates in good shape, and your your LP lights is working, and all this bullshit. But then Nate basically said that all counties are just about as bad as Williamson.
I think so.
Well, you can now somebody can say that, but I just don't have. We've literally talked to and got emails and correspondence and phone calls to the comment line from a few thousand people with horror stories. Well, I just can't say that about Travis County.
I think it's because you put the thing out there for Williamson County, but I think Travis County is probably just as bad.
Well, they're all getting worse. And let's face it, wouldn't you say? And it's continuing to excel. What's that?
Well, the war on drugs, the war on Islamic people, why don't we save a lot of money, bring all of the troops home.
Yes.
Stop spending money on invading other countries and building American empire.
Yeah.
And then we don't have to pat people down at the airports and because they won't be hating on us anymore.
That's
right?
exactly right. That's exactly. I've been saying that for a long time. In fact, in Al-Qaeda's own films and videos they make, they tell you that. Well, the CIA has a hand in it too. But they tell you that the reason why they hate America is that they look at us as occupiers.
Well, the ex-CIA people have said there's blowback when you go in and say like we overthrew. The
Shah in Iran,
right? In the 50s, that has blowback.
Yeah.
People hate you when you do that. I mean, what would we do if a country came in and overthrew our government? Wouldn't we hate those people?
And had Chinese troops occupying us?
Right.
I don't think we'd like it, would
we?
And that's exactly what's going on there. And that's so. Do we have it yet? Okay, but anyway, back to Williamson County. We have received, plus they terrorized me one night back in 1996. That was before this video.
Mm-hmm.
They threatened to take me to jail for nothing.
Right.
And so I know they're out there terrorizing people. But I agree with you that with the war on drugs and everything else going on, it's just all the counties are really starting to becoming.
Well, you got to be they're there.
What's your take on immigration now? While I got you on the spot here, see, I believe in open borders, amnesty if people want it. I don't believe that the government should have the right to control the movement of people. And you can say, oh, it's just for these, these illegal aliens. But the fact is, they're already extending that. Try going to Mexico now. In fact, these body scanners is government controlling the movement of people.
My feeling is the whole thing with the illegal Mexican immigration specifically, not Canadian or Islamic or El Salvador or anything, but just people that are crossing the Mexican border. I think a lot of it is just global control to make us fight against each other.
Yes.
They want to pit one person against the other.
Yep.
In the United States,
Yep.
Well, we hate it and we love it, and it's just a way.
You mean the old divide and conquer mechanism? Yeah, they're doing that. Okay, so we ready with the classic Alex Jones? This to me is a beautiful interview. That's why I love to play it. Alex is very concise in what he's saying. He has specific cases he points to, and here it is.
Williamson County. I've lived in Austin, Texas, and Travis County, just a few miles south of Williamson County for, I guess, about 9-10 years, and I always heard the horror stories. And then I got to know some police officers that work in Williamson County because for a long time I lived in North Austin, right on the edge of Williamson County. And they talked about some of the abuses and how the police get away with a lot of corruption and how it's sponsored by the government and how they tried to stay out of it. And I still ignored it. But then, over the years as a radio talk show host in Austin, Texas, I have documented literally hundreds of cases of people with no criminal records who've done nothing wrong, literally serving time or getting years of probation with thousands of dollars of fines in the aggregate for things like not having their in-date insurance card in their car. We all do it. We have our old insurance card, and it expires even though we were mailed a new one. Well, this in Williamson County can end up with hard jail time and thousands of dollars of fines along with the probation. I'm not kidding. We have the cases. And then a few months ago, that police officer that I'd known for 6-7 years told me, well, I'm leaving Williamson County. I'm going to another state to get another job. It's a better area. And I just want to tell you to be careful when you're in Williamson County, because while I've been out on duty and on patrol and we stop off by a restaurant to eat, as police do late at night, he's heard several different police officers, Williamson County sheriff's deputies, talk about how they plan to pull myself or Mike Hansen over, my cameraman, the person getting this tape for a film he's making about the abuses of Williamson County. They say that they'll pull us over and can't wait to beat us up and throw us in jail. This isn't Mexico. This isn't Nazi Germany. This isn't Stalin Russia or Mao's China. This is right here in America. No, it's not even Havana, Cuba. The question is, who do the police serve now? Who do they think they serve? Well, they serve themselves and the power elite that keep them in their station in life. Police are supposed to be the servants of the people, the guardians of the public peace officers, not law enforcement officers that defend the entrenched bureaucracy. These bureaucrats in their ivory towers send their minions out to literally eat out our substance, just like the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and, of course, the Declaration of Independence states. They are now the servants of themselves and their masters, and they see us as second-class citizens that are supposed to be here at their beck and call and serve them. And I want to tell the police, the good ones and the bad ones, that it's time for you to cease your gang mentality, your, well, we can't tell on the brotherhood, the thin blue line. You should read your own gang handbooks where gang members won't tell on their other vatos or their other homies. That literally is gang mentality, gang psychology on a mass scale, and it's criminal. You are not above the law. And there's one more thing. If this police state succeeds, if it gets worse and worse into higher and higher degrees, you're going to have to live here in this country, this world. Your children and their children will grow up in this world. And the same abuses that you're engaging in against the population today, they'll be brought to bear on you and your family when you're on vacation or traveling into another county. You don't want to live in a place like Mexico. You don't want to live in a place like Russia. So do the right thing. Stand up and be honorable. And stop feeling sorry for yourselves like you're under attack and everybody's against you and it's a thin blue line. If people are against you, it may be because you're doing something wrong. So it's time for the good police and the good leaders in the community and the people at large to stand up and root out the bad officers that are rapidly taking over the country, as well as Williamson County, right here in central Texas. That's basically it. The police in Williamson County want to threaten me, want to threaten my family. I just say that's sad. That's pathetic. And that's wrong. I've done nothing wrong. I've stood up for people that have been abused. Mike Hansen has stood up for people that have been abused in Williamson County. And we're going to expose you. If you want to threaten us or threaten our safety or threaten our health or threaten our families or threaten us with jail, that's fine. We'll continue. And at the end of the day, we'll have honor. We'll defend our family names. We'll be good, decent Americans in the fine tradition of Patrick Henry and George Washington. As for you, you might want to hurriedly move to Mexico or Russia. You might be a lot happier there. And your intimidation doesn't work on me. Doesn't work on Mike Hansen. It doesn't work on the people in America. And we're rapidly waking up to this criminal system that's coming to full-born global fruition.
Well, not yet, Jeff.
That's the choice. Deliver this country into a hellhole, the arms of despotism, or do the right thing. The war has already begun. It's an information war. It's a war being fought right here in the human mind. Are we second-class citizens? Have we done something wrong? Why are there checkpoints in the roads and the military now in Granger County, Tennessee, engaging in checkpoints? It's getting bad, and if we don't step up and stand up against it, it's going to get a lot worse. One more thing about Williamson County. I confronted Governor Bush because he's a member of Skull and Bones, an elitist society, and his father, of course, was director of the CIA and president and vice president and a lot of other things, and we know they've engaged in a lot of criminal activity.
Okay, folks, we're back live. I know the phones, we've had a few phone callers here tonight. Appreciate that. I'm not going to get to them tonight. Nate Thomas, you had a couple of other items you wanted to talk about.
Did I?
I thought that's what you said.
Not really, but...
What do you think of Alex's interview? Pretty concise?
Oh, yeah, he does a good job.
Hundreds of cases of people with no criminal record, done nothing wrong, literally serving time or getting years of probation with thousands of dollars of fines in the aggregate for things like...
It's kind of what way I feel about DWI laws.
Oh, they're way out of control.
Well, I mean, people get pulled over that probably would never have had an accident, but just because their blood alcohol level is above a certain point, the rest of their life is ruined.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's like Terry Liberty Parker says. You know, when you victimize somebody else, that's the crime. But this other stuff is thought crime. You know, they're trying to prevent crime. You know, and when you get into that crime prevention area, then you could just say anything is crime prevention, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, well, you know, everybody has to wear knee pads so you don't skin your knees.
We're done. Okay, folks, the Bakehouse, 9:30. Bye. Love you.